This video will show how to access full-text commentaries online using the eBook collection at the ATS library. Begin by coming to the seminary website at seminary.ashland.edu and then come to Services. Under Services, come to Library. Within Library, scroll down until you come to the Let's Research heading, and then click on eBooks. At this point, for commentaries, determine whether you want to focus on Old Testament or New Testament. Since our interest is in Mark chapter 6, we'll click on New Testament. Initially, you will come to General Commentaries. We want to be book specific, so we'll pick the book of the Bible that we're interested in, Gospel of Mark, and see what's available by clicking on that word. First one that's offered is an Anchor Yale Bible Commentary focusing on Mark, but only chapters 8 through 16. Since the word that we're wishing to continue in study of, the word that we began to look at through the online concordance, since that was found in Mark chapter 6, this commentary won't help us. But here's one that will. Lane's commentary, New International Commentary, is a very strong one. Let's click on that. And here we're beginning to open up that full-text, excellent commentary. Let's click on Contents. Immediately we can see some of the subtitles or subheadings within the introduction. We want to move beyond that into chapter 6 of the Gospel of Mark. So we'll scroll down, click on chapter 6. And now we have opened to the full text of the commentary at the point of Mark chapter 6. Now we've reached the portion that addresses chapter 6, verses 45 to 52. And you can see verse 52 there listed before you. That's the text itself. We're interested in seeing what did Bill Lane write about it, so we'll continue a little further down. Now we come to Professor Lane's comments on 51 and 52. Let's see if we can find where he's talking about heart in chapter 6, verse 52. As I read over the material that Professor Lane presents here, insights concerning the hardness of heart begin to unfold here at point 2, when he says the problem of understanding is not intellectual but existential. It's a matter of faith. Number 3 again, disciples' reaction is one characterized by not understanding. And now he comes to this phrase, the hardness of heart, and makes a rather astonishing statement. Mark indicates at this stage in Jesus' ministry, the disciples are not essentially different from his opponents, who also fail to recognize his unique character. And they also then exhibit hardness of heart. Drawing then from Professor Lane's comments, I would return back to what we've excavated in terms of range of meaning and my own choice, the word that I landed on to translate heart in this portion of Mark 6. And I would say it looks like Professor Lane is saying there is more than just a mental block that's going on here. Especially this phrase suggests that. The disciples' misunderstanding reflects unbelief. They are seeing things, they can't believe it's true. So these are some of the sentiments from Professor Lane that I would want to draw into my report and then interact with them. Do I concur with Professor Lane, or do I feel that it's an interesting idea but may not be fully supported by the passage? These are the ways that we would want to incorporate a commentary into our word study. The same could be done, incidentally, with a journal article. If we were to look up a journal article dealing with this particular passage, we could then interact with that writer and report on it and be informed. We may agree or we may disagree, but at least we will be in a broader conversation concerning responsible interpretation of this particular word in this particular passage. Returning to the entry point for this ebook resource, I'd like to call attention to something that's rather convenient here on the right side. Notice the word cite. Let's click on that and see how it helps us. This makes it easy for us to adopt an appropriate citation format. Notice that several are listed, not all of them are revealed, so we'll scroll down a bit until we come to the Chicago Turabian, and here you find an appropriate citation. The way this is laid out gives us the appropriate information. Since it is first name first, that resembles how a footnote would operate. We'd want to have last name first in order for it to be an appropriate bibliographic site as opposed to a footnote site. So you'll still want to configure it a little bit with proper use of the writing handbook, the seminary writing handbook. But what's nice about this is it does give you all the basic information, particularly the information relative to the web source itself.